My eyes are burning right now just thinking about it.
Jack's obsessed with the Chesapeake Ripper and he's grooming Will to catch him.
They're both grooming Will, actually. Wow, this is happening? After the last episode, one of you beautiful humans brought this up to me, this idea that that final scene of last episode of Hannibal consoling Jack about Miriam, there might have been some regret in Hannibal's eyes. Initially, I just viewed it from the point of view of like Hannibal just being a freaking green snake in the green grass, like sheep, like wolf in sheep clothing, being both the person doing the harm and the person also administering like comfort and care right after they have brought down the hammer, right? But like one of you brought up this idea of like maybe there was a little bit of regret in Hannibal's eyes, you know, because he wasn't planning for any harm to come to Miriam, but she just got too close. You know, she saw the drawings, she was a good investigator, you know, and it made me start thinking of this idea of like maybe because of how manipulative, cunning, and intelligent Hannibal is, I oftentimes find it hard, or I'm sure a lot of us find it hard to actually picture when he's being honest or when he's being genuine. You know, like sometimes when he's administering care and love and kindness, as much or as little as he does, like when people are going through things, like sometimes he actually means it. It's kind of like episode 2 when he's told Will that he feels a great sense of responsibility for Abigail, that he never wanted her to get hurt. It's like, I believed him, you know what I'm saying? And it goes back to like the information I know about Hannibal, about him having a moral code or some sense of like honor, you know, that he lives by or does his activities by. And I really love that, like that was brought to my attention. It gave me another perspective to look at that final scene of him sipping the wine and like comforting Jack in front of the fire. I just felt like I should share that because it showed me a different side of Hannibal potentially that like I didn't even have eyes on. It's like, yes, he eats people, but he might have some empathy in there that like we're not always ready to like hop on because he's a freaking killer, you know, ruthless one at that. But I just wanted to mention that R.I.P. Miriam is her name, right? And I love all the info you guys dropped in the last episode for me about the similarities to Silence of the Lambs and how I wasn't tripping and how Miriam is almost like a stand-in for Clarice because the rights to the books and all that. I appreciate reading all the comments that you guys drop about this. But with that being said, episode 7, let's get into it.
Reason you've kept failing to capture the Chesapeake Ripper? So I already...
God.
Is gonna make sure everybody knows it. I don't think we've ever...
And he did.
On a day like this.
Well, I think that is a part that I just thought to myself. Now I'm like, with everything I said in the beginning about Hannibal, Miriam was not part of the plan. And, you know, maybe he regrets that. But on the other hand, why was he messing with Jack's brain? Why was he messing with Jack's head? You know, playing Miriam's tapes, you know, calling him from his house, you know. That kind of maybe defeats the purpose of him being sympathetic and regretting what he did to her, you know, because some mind games are still being played there, you know. But yeah, Hannibal, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, there's a tongue.
In as many days, all of them in Baltimore. Pigs. That's how he sees his victims, not as people.
Pigs.
And as with previous murders, organs were removed.
Jesus.
Instinctive brutality.
Isn't that the picture Hannibal had on his table that Miriam found? Isn't it? Or was it Hannibal's own artistic rendition of it?
Creating private medical records of all the known victims when she disappeared.
Dog.
When her severed arm was discovered, as he wanted it to be. The Chesapeake Ripper has remained consistently theatrical.
Very. Is that a vocal cord? Damn. Look at her go. There he is. Is that gonna be his next victim? Wow. He's in tears. Oh? Why are they looking at each other? He's in tears. He loves the art so much. Standing ovation.
Since you probably cook first, Hannibal.
Come over and I will cook for you.
You heard me. Used to.
Uh-oh.
Feast is life. You put the life in your belly and you live.
Interesting verbiage.
There should remain some mystery to my life outside the opera.
Oh.
Did you enjoy the performance?
I did. I loved it every minute.
He did not like that. Is that the patient from episode 1? The patient that he was irritated by? He did not like that. He talked about privacy and you just went and spilled the beans.
You must leave something for us to discuss next week. Franklin, good to see you.
Uh-oh. He did not like that. Who's hungry? Yep, I think Franklin is about to end up on a plate. Not this one, though. You know what I'm saying? Not this one. He did not like that. The look in his eyes, oof. Is this shit gonna keep haunting him? Is this going to help him understand what's going on with Will? Was that a dream?
Chesapeake Ripper, no?
I've had the room sealed. You'll get it fresh.
Oh, God.
You want me to wrap my head so tight around the Ripper I won't go back to class and...
Mm-hmm.
Don't let the Ripper stir you up.
Yeah.
Miriam Lass's arm is so he could poke you with it.
True.
In death, like a public dissection, she was different.
She was personal.
Starting another cycle, Will.
The Ripper contacted you.
We'll have a window of opportunity to catch him, and that window will close.
Now something that never occurred to me just occurred to me. This idea that like maybe the reason Jack is also pushing Will even more so now is because Will is a means to an end for him to get revenge, right? Or some kind of what's the word? Closure. And he doesn't care how much it breaks Will to get him that revenge on the killer that took Miriam away. Let me know what y'all think about that, but that's just what flew into my brain right now.
The last time the window closed, I lost the Ripper and I lost Miriam Lass. I don't intend to do that again.
So F you, Will. Essentially, you don't care if your brain turned into mush.
Surgery was unperformed with bare hands, sutures clawed open.
Hello?
Pieces of him were torn off from the bed to the bathroom like breadcrumbs.
He wanted to punish him, huh? Is that Franklin?
Surgery wasn't performed here, there'd be a lot more blood.
Not Franklin.
Probably interrupted. It's intact. Traumatized, but it's intact.
Jeez.
Everybody out.
Let Will work. I don't like this. I never did. Because I know how much he's doing to Will every time. Looks cool as hell, though. Ah.
Suffering from a severe, violent emergence from deep sedation.
His heart seizes up.
How does Hannibal manage not to leave any DNA in all these scenes? Like, including scenes like this where there was an obvious struggle where, like, he might have easily made a mistake, be it a hair follicle or something drop in. Like, how does he keep getting away? Don't answer that. Like, god damn, like... Massage.
This wasn't brutal.
Trying to sit right. Please explain.
Possible signature components.
It's the Ripper.
He closed the door.
Q using his tongue as a page marker in the Bible he was holding. Someone trying to make an extra buck in a back alley surgery and it went bad.
Black market.
I do. You're not gonna get a chance to shoot him. Because I'm gonna do that.
Exactly. It's revenge for him.
Pitiful things. Sometimes born in hospitals. But they don't put it on the machines. They let it die. But he doesn't die. Nobody can tell what he is.
Interesting. Franklin? Uh-oh.
It's kind of thought you'd be there.
Is he...
I'll acknowledge in any way our relationship outside this room.
You to be my friend.
Of course you do. I have intimate knowledge of you.
Friends. It makes me sad that I have to pay to see you.
Oh.
I was listening to Michael Jackson last night.
If only Franklin knew even 1% of the kind of danger he's in, he would probably leave the country. He would flee. God.
My eyes are burning right now just thinking about it. Been able to help save him from himself.
Ah.
I just get to touch greatness.
There it is. Proximity.
Hello. Come on in.
Oh.
I'm perfectly honest with you.
What would be the point otherwise?
Who's this? His therapist?
And hope that the actual you gets what he needs. Naturally, I respect its meticulous construction. But you are wearing a very well-tailored person suit.
I love that. I've always loved this idea, and I don't think I've ever seen it on screen, but I've always loved this idea of sometimes your therapist or someone who gives you stability clinically in a matter like this kind of like knows you, like actually knows you and knows all your vices and all your masks that you put on and everything, but like they're not there to necessarily like help you heal. They're just there to like show you the, how am I gonna say this, kind of like show you the path to like pick yourself up and get better with their existence, obviously. But I've always like been interested in this idea of like they know the real you, because sometimes some people as well, they still use those masks in front of their therapist. Like some people lie to their therapist, maybe because of shame, this, that, and the third, maybe lack of like actually knowing them really well. So there's been this thing that's been in my head for a while that like sometimes your therapist actually know the real you. And I find that so interesting with this thing, because like what she said about, I have conversation with a version of you, hoping that those conversations help the real you. I think that's so interesting because she's aware that he's not being totally honest. By the way, I absolutely love this actress. If you guys have seen Sex Education on Netflix, she's the therapist. So interesting hearing her do a very convincing American accent.
Since I only have one patient who chose to ignore my retirement.
Ah.
Maybe it's less of a person suit and more of a human veil. You are my patient and my colleague, not
my friend.
And I like you. Red or white?
I think something pink, don't you?
Interesting. So is that a flashback or a current day?
Good evening, Will. Please come in.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
Well, we have that in common.
True. Something pink.
It's not the same guy.
Maybe it's never been the same guy.
Some variations.
Such as?
Valuable organs.
You should just tell me now because I'm going to find out and it will affect your insurance if you lie.
May I ask for your business card, please? For my records.
Oh? What was that? Recipes. Wow. So he makes recipes with the dog. You are twisted in every way imaginable. He got sabotaged. A good Samaritan? He's so menacing. He's so menacing.
Tell, but was interrupted before he could paint his picture.
The heart.
The Ripper painted this picture for sure, in big broad strokes.
Abdominal aorta and inferior vena cava. That's like the... Yes, that is how the Ripper rips.
Two different killers, same agenda.
Dog.
Grace. Mutilations hide the true nature of his crimes.
Y'all don't even know. That's the funny part. Like, y'all don't even know. It's like they're all beating around it, but it's like, yes, he's harvesting their parts to combine them for a recipe, dog. A freaking recipe.
A Cabernet Sauvignon wine barrel.
I love your palate. I will only answer that yes or no.
Why, thank you.
I'm curious about something. Not on my account, I hope. I'm happy to get your perspective.
Of course.
Not since I consulted on the case with Miriam, before she disappeared.
Trainee.
Yeah.
Very sad. And I'm grateful that you were examining PhD students and not the Ripper. Why didn't we?
You were already having an affair.
Dog.
Have affairs.
Flirtatiously change the subject. You have that pathology in common.
Interesting.
You never spoke about him.
Probably because I just want everybody to leave him alone. Jack's obsessed with the Chesapeake Ripper and he's grooming Will to catch him.
They're both grooming Will, actually. I think that's safe to say about Hannibal too. Like, he's grooming Will to catch him. I don't know. He's definitely grooming Will to do something. Maybe be a successor to him. Maybe be a interesting plaything to learn from, to psychoanalyze himself, something. He's so smooth, man. Matt Mikkelsen is so smooth in this role. Hannibal is so smooth. Something we talked about recently was how, like, because I just posted episode 1 on YouTube and posted episode 2 today. And obviously, because it's YouTube, there's just more conversations that happen there. And someone mentioned how Mads is their favorite Hannibal of all the depictions. And, you know, from the limited Hannibal material that I've seen, I would have to, like, agree, because Anthony Hopkins was excellent in Silence of the Lambs, like chef's kiss. But at the same time, he's an older individual, still physical, but he's an older individual. But Mads Mikkelsen, what? This man standing at 6'5", like built like a rock, like intimidating as hell, strong. Like the way he walked up behind Miriam last episode and just grabbed her, it's like, what you gonna do about that? You know? The way he ominously walked up to his doctor. Like he just has that like physical, like imposing presence, which is also contrasted by how soft spoken he is and how like she just mentioned, he can be flirtatious too and like very charismatic. He all used those tools to, you know, get what he wants.
And I sincerely hope he does.
Jack is tormented. Or he did dream about that. Jesus Christ, man. That's Will. For all y'all asking me what would I watch for Halloween, this. Creepy as hell. Wow. So he must have a big storage where he stores their bodies. General manager. Squeezing the air out of the lungs. Consultant.
A spleen. Who the hell gets a spleen transplant?
Right.
So we're either looking for someone with short bowels or Ripper's making sausage.
Yes, he is making sausage. Literally.
Well, otherwise your tone was a little...
I like them.
You confident one of them is the Chesapeake Ripper?
At least one of them.
I was gonna ask when is Will going to crack the code that they're being eaten, but didn't he say that previously about the Minnesota striker? Because when the killer returned, was it a lung or a liver back into the body, Will had that moment of, oh, he's eating them. So I wonder when Will is going to like have that again. Like when that's gonna come back to him. But I guess cannibalism is way too like absurd to be thinking of in this moment, especially when the main thing they're thinking of is like the organ transplants and whatnot. Probably like cannibalism will be the last thing on their mind, and it's right under their nose.
Good morning. Please come in.
Oh, Frank.
So uncomfortable the last time that I did.
This city is very small.
He's stalking him?
Tobias, he doesn't eat dairy.
Oh, Tobias is his partner.
It's just not my brand.
Brand?
You often worry about being alone.
I worry about hurting.
Was Will supposed to be there? There's so many little things I want to speak on, but we'll be here all day. You guys can peep it. Is someone late to their appointment? Or Graham? What the hell?
It's better that it's just the two of us.
Well?
Dad.
He's not your dad.
I have a 24-hour cancellation policy.
What time is it?
Nearly 9 o'clock.
He came to find you?
Was I sleepwalking?
Your eyes were open, but you were not present.
He came to find Will. He needs that conversation.
Best way to avoid bad dreams.
So many words.
Choose them wisely.
Oh, I always do.
These aren't the Ripper's enemies. These are pests. He's swatted.
Pests.
Dignified behavior. These dissections are to disgrace them.
Takes their organs away because in his mind they don't deserve them.
There was the dude. Hey man, you guys are gonna get tired of the Silence of the Lamb references. But there was a dude who was very nasty to Clarice at the beginning, and he took him out because of the indecency. And again, when he escaped, I do remember clearly saying, Hannibal won't come for me. Like, he would think that is disrespectful, you know? And I think this connects to that, like, moral code we're talking about. Like, he does have some kind of etiquette or, like, rules of engagement when it comes to some specific things. Yikes. Yowzer. Freaky ass.
In some way.
See, why is Will not suspecting him? Maybe because he's a psychiatrist? I mean, one of you brought up this really good point in the comments of the last episode. This idea of like Will probably already knows that Hannibal is the killer, but is kind of like trying to push his mind away from that. You explained it in a very eloquent way that I'm butchering right now, but I try not to theorize too much because I don't want to like ruin it for myself by getting close or even away. I want to be as far as away from like predictions as possible personally, but like I peep that, like, because even in this moment when Hannibal said that, the way Will took a step back and kind of looked at him up to down, like, hold on now, you know, it's like, hold on now.
Seems to me he was humiliating someone.
He was humiliating.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say it worked really well.
But not as a first responder. A first responder driving away from the emergency.
Okay.
Performs surgery. If the cops show up, blend in and drive away.
Where's Will Graham?
There you are. And Dr. Lecter, what a surprise. We have a lead.
What a surprise.
Help us catch the Ripper. How could I refuse?
He's right there.
Silvestri's one of our part-time drivers.
Does he want to be a doctor?
He's taking the MCATs.
Oh?
Is Mr. Silvestri working today?
He's not on a schedule.
Okay.
We can't afford that kind of hardware. We use consumer grade.
Digital trunk system.
Yeah.
If the ambulance radio is on, I can use the DF sweep to find it.
Get on it.
Good. This is very educational.
Man, I love when Hannibal makes comments like this. It's almost like he's winking at us, the audience, when he does it. Kind of like Fleabag, you know? He's like, oh, this is educational. Thank you for bringing me in here. He means it, but not in the way you guys think. This guy, Lord have mercy. So what, is this someone else he set up, or? Because obviously it's not going to be him inside. What is it, another copycat?
Dr. Lecter!
Oh.
He was removing his kidney. Poorly. I can stop the bleeding. Do it.
Will is watching. So who is this guy and what's his deal?
Mr. Silvestri, put your hands behind your head. Exit the vehicle slowly. Do it.
Is Jack gonna shoot him? Will is gonna know something is off. Will got to know, man. Oh my lord. Dog, that's the heart that he was.
Separate the matter from the water. Creates a transparent liquid.
Wow.
But before you go, what became of Mr. Silvestri's donor?
Surgeon has to happen from time to time.
It happened one time too many. I fixed minds instead of bodies, and no one's died as a result of my therapy.
Enjoy the wine.
Will is giving him those suspicious looks, and I love it. I think even Jack knows that's not the Ripper. Wow. That shit does look good.
Nothing here is vegetarian.
Boy. I mean, if there was any doubt throughout, the series if he's feeding people human meat or not, I feel like this episode concluded or answered that question honestly, because yeah, he was essentially taking donors, you know, not donors because they were not donating, but he was taking parts from people this whole episode. And somebody put in the comments that about the dreams that Will keeps having about the stag. Is that what's called, stag? A deer? The deer with the feathers, and how like that's the same kind of stag or animal in Hannibal's office. So it's almost like for a while now Will has been getting those dreams that is Hannibal, that Hannibal is the killer and whatnot. But I'll say this episode for sure is the first time like we've seen Will, and the actor who plays Will Graham is very good at using like those facial features and those using his face to act. He does it so well, because throughout this episode the kind of looks he gave him, especially after he kind of was looking at the pictures in Will's office, but secondly when he was fixing the person's kidney in the ambulance, it's like Will gave him that look. And thirdly, of course, when he was cooking with Will right there before Will left, I think Will is like putting two and two together or have already put it together. And now I'm wondering what this means, kind of like how Abigail, I think in episode 2 or 3, kind of put two and two together, that when she was saying, okay, you pretend to be the mom, and she looked at Hannibal and said like, you pretend to be the guy that called, be the stranger that called. And they had this eye-to-eye moment where it's almost like that's where Abigail kind of hinted that, yeah, you're the person who called my dad, you know. I love this show because like everything is so subtle, unlike Hannibal's jokes where it's like a wink at us when he says some food related joke or having a friend for lunch or something like that. I do like how a lot of this thing, I won't say I like it, the way the case and everything has been affecting Jack. Like I would think that like that would give Jack a little taste of what he might be doing to Will as well, but it don't seem to be the case for Jack. It makes him even want to press down more, you know. And like he said, he wants revenge, he wants resolution for what happened to Maria, so he's willing to push Will till Will breaks. So unfortunately, I hope that Jack going through this a little bit, and the whole thing going on with Franklin, him admiring Hannibal, maybe there's something like sexual there, emotional there, that he wants Hannibal, but he does say he wants Hannibal to be a friend. And when they broke it down, him saying he wanted to be a friend to Michael Jackson and all that, just like he wants to be so close to greatness and touch it. And it's like, oof, boy, if only you knew what you were kind of around, you know. I miss Abigail. We haven't seen her much. We saw her in that little trippy scene of Will daydreaming, but I hope we see her next time and see how that relationship dynamic with Hannibal is kind of like brewing, because that's something that's very fascinating so far. This episode, man, great episode. Let me hear y'all's thoughts about this episode in the comments, and I will catch you episode 8. Peace. You know, before turning on my camera today, I just had a thought that really warmed my soul. And the thought was, we still have a lot of episodes to cover. We're pretty much only halfway through season 1 and still have a lot of season 2. And I'm happy about that, because when you step on a show like this that is so fun, you dread getting to that finish line. I mean, that has happened with us watching Interview with the Vampire. But this, you know, that thought warmed my soul today. Let's check out episode 8 of Hannibal season 1. Thank you for watching. I appreciate all of you on YouTube, on Patreon, all the support. Thank you. Keep it up. we're gonna keep moving. After Hannibal, we're gonna move on to another show and another show. We're not stopping anytime soon. So if you're enjoying what you're seeing, hit that subscribe button. Come check us out on Patreon if you can. If not, it's still a vibe. It's still a vibe. Thank you all so much.
Having conversations.
I don't want to get in the middle of you and Jack.
I like you as a buffer.
Shame not to take advantage.
This is my friend Tobias.
Really?
Tobias.
If you weren't Neil Rogers Franklin, you would be something much worse.
Was doing it worked.
Hannibal, Will with his boats. Is this a dream? When are we gonna see more of Abigail? That does not sound good at all. Sounds like something was getting tortured or worse. This gotta be a dream, right?
Bow than the regular ones.
You have to learn how to bow authentic strings. No, you shouldn't.
Are they really made from cat guts?
Not always.
Not always. This is Tobias, yes? What is going on here? Tobias? What did I just watch? What is Tobias into?
That's better. Good.
Tobias just looked and felt a lot like Hannibal right there. What? That whole joint was trippy. That is his workshop, yes?
You're lucky to find a paw.
So you invited me over to help you collect animal parts?
Nope.
Chance we do find it alive. It's hard for me to wrangle a wounded animal by myself.
Or he just needed a friend.
See, it never crossed my mind.
Oh. Why not?
You just don't seem like you date. You're not broken.
What's your excuse?
If we're not dating, why are you assuming I don't date?
Do you?
Do you?
I'm sure I'll become that somebody someday, but right now I think too much.
What are you gonna do? You gonna try to think less, or are you just gonna wait till it happens natural?
I haven't thought about it.
Good question. Found something?
I'm not even seeing any tracks.
I mean, except for the ones we made.
Oh? Does that mean his mind is not as sharp anymore?
Through your eyes, imagining what your diagnosis might be.
Okay.
A psychoanalyst.
I become you.
Who are you psychoanalyzing?
Tobias.
Why were you so curious to Google?
He's been saying very dark things.
Oh?
Psychopaths are not crazy. They're fully aware of what they do and the consequences of those actions.
Mm-hmm.
In front of me, would you rather just talk about me?
Not at all.
Bored with me?
Yes.
No. This is your hour, Franklin. We will talk.
Yes, bruh. He is. Do you see his face? Which is so interesting. And look at Hannibal advocating for psychopaths. You love to see it. You gotta stand up for yourself, you know what I'm saying?
I'm not analyzing your friend. I'm analyzing your perception of him. May help you know yourself better. You're not a psychopath. Although you may be attracted to them.
So what does that say about Michael Jackson and his love for Michael? Crime scene? What the f is this show on, man? Tobias?
Shortly after his last performance, blunt force trauma to the back of the head.
This killer brought him here to...
Display him?
View of forensics, that's exactly what it is.
It's not any easier, Jack. Take it off.
He's just getting more used to it?
You shake it off. Get to work.
Oh, Jack. He was unable to see the tracks earlier. Is he going to be able to do this? Yes. Oh. Twisted.
Access the trachea and expose the vocal cords.
Jesus.
Powder on the wound.
Powder?
Rosin from above. I wanted to play him. I wanted to create
Jesus.
my sound.
Don't play it, man. This is nasty work. Who's watching? Oh. He's back.
Don't worry that I've made Franklin.
Hey, man. Do you guys know who comes up with these atrocities? Like, whose twisted mind thought of freaking playing a cello through someone's throat? That's what I want to know. Like, what are you going through in your life? Like, what's up?
He wants to be my friend. His obsession with me is interfering with his progress. Referring him to another doctor.
Referrals can be complicated. I referred you to another psychiatrist.
That didn't work out.
You support me as a colleague and psychiatrist and as a human being.
I'm not the only psychiatrist who's ever been attacked by a patient.
Oh?
I hesitated to even bring up the subject of an obsessive patient because of your traumatic experience.
I'm your psychiatrist.
Exactly. It's a one-way street.
Or fatty from around the vocal folds. The cords themselves were treated with this. The sulfur dioxide had the effect of hardening the vocal cords.
Made them easier to.
Right. Nah, bruh.
Get up and can't play it, he'll put you down and play you.
We're not gonna move past that like we didn't just hear what we just heard. Had to open you up to get a decent sound out of you. And he said it as if he was the person. Is this the episode where Will cracks? Because look at that demeaning look he has in his eyes as he says it. Now, my thing is, no spoilers, obviously, in the comments, but my whole thing is, when Will eventually cracks, like, how is Jack going to take this? Is he going to take some accountability for it? Is it going to wreck him the same way losing Miriam wrecked him? And what is Hannibal going to do about it? Is he going to enjoy it? Is he going to... I'm asking too far, but I can't stop my brain sometimes. No need to answer any of these questions in the comment, please.
Vocal cords the same way you treat catgut string. Yes, I play the violin.
Wow.
This is a skilled musician trying a new instrument.
Tobias? Or it could be Hannibal. Because I am not letting another episode pass me by
Among the first musical instruments were flutes.
without suspecting Hannibal at least a little bit. Because the same thing happened with the couple of episodes ago where I didn't even suspect Hannibal until the very end. Was it the Chesapeake Ripper?
Music, we have finite events, unique arrangements, sometimes harmonious, sometimes dissonant. It was said to increase the life of the strings and create a sweeter, more melodic sound.
Wow.
Hear what he was playing behind my eyes when I closed them.
What do you see behind closed eyes?
Hobbs.
I see myself.
Interesting.
A fellow musician or another killer?
Hannibal? Relax, bro. Relax. When he said another killer, see that hand gesture he made towards Hannibal? Hey, man, that has to be on purpose, either by the creators or Will. He said he was playing to another patron. Hannibal loves music, like our sweet boy Lestat. You know? Look at that gesture Will made.
Said that he wanted to cut someone's throat and play it like a violin.
Could it be Franklin?
Do you have a reason not to?
What if I'm wrong?
What if you're right?
I'm always wrong. Why would he say something like that to me?
What do you think?
Because he knows I'd tell you.
Bingo. 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 He knows I'll tell you. Oh, he got gloves on. He is trying to get active today.
I also carry steel and polymer strings, if you prefer.
I prefer cut. Was it an original composition?
Something I've been writing. You compose?
I discover.
Yeah.
Not altogether. It's an unfortunate way to leave.
Yo, this episode finna be long. Every single conversation in this show has like 12 different layers. And this just made me think of the conversation he had with the, I want to say warden, but not the warden. I can't remember his name, of the psych hospital, or the psych, the dude that made his client think he's the Chesapeake Ripper just because of the dude from Silence of the Lambs. This just made me think of him saying, you know, I am not partial, that I am partial to like alternative ways of like psychology and stuff like that, just to prove to him that like I don't mind, or just to inform him that I don't mind bending the rules. And same thing here. He said, just like you, like I go between the conventional or whatnot. And it's like there's just so many layers in there, because like these are the kind of guys that if police are trying to wire them, or the FBI, you're not gonna get shit, because it's almost like they're talking to each other in code that both of them understand. I love this so much. Holy shit. Every single line, every conversation, especially with people of like mutual kind of brainwaves and intelligence. That's why anytime he's talking to Will, anytime he's talking to someone like this, anytime he's talking to his therapist, like all those conversations have like dense information in there, and so layered, as well as open for a lot of interpretation too. Now we gotta run this back.
My harpsichord needs new strings. It's making an awful noise. Perhaps you could help.
You got his attention. Wow. And there is Will. Our sweet Will. Hello. I don't play that. The moment I hear something ain't right, I'm out. Is there an animal in the chimney? What?
I thought I'd come over, make some noise, shoo away any predators at your door.
Smooth about it.
Evidently not smooth enough.
And now you're making house calls.
'Cause she's worried. Oh? 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 I'm not gonna lie, this man needs some love in his life.
But if we're
Intimate.
the way that I am in relationships, not that this is a relationship, it's just a kiss. The way that I am isn't compatible with the way
I am.
Because I have this professional curiosity about you.
Very fair. That ain't stopping them.
I am not your patient.
But she cares though.
Maybe don't do this. I have to follow my own advice. I'm gonna go ahead and go now. Good night, Will.
Self-control, boundaries, self-assessment, accountability, 10 out of 10. All around the board. But at the same time, Will needs a significant distraction. Not saying that all she is, but like even this kiss or this moment of tenderness, I don't know, I have a feeling that helps in some way, because he is so filled with like darkness and evil and nightmares, and he's slowly sinking into this freaking bottomless dark pit of despair. And I mean, this has been the episode that I've been the most worried about Will. He's hearing noises, and you can see how she's looking at him both times, like very concerned. Like, was there actually something in that chimney? Or at the beginning of the episode, like, did you actually hear an animal dying out there? So like his mind, him not being able to like notice any footsteps, probably because there were no footsteps there. It just came to me right now. Probably because he was just imagining things, or his mind is just messing with him. The way he looked at the body and was like, I had to open you up to make a better sound out of you. Hello? So it's like this kiss and this moment that you shared is the most positive thing that have ever happened to Will in this season. So in a way, I kind of wanted that, but I love how she explained. She's a smart woman, you know, like, I'm confused despite how much I want this. This can happen for this reason. And the self-control to go home, god damn, respect. The restraint. And shout out to Will too for also understanding. But I'm sure that hurts too, because no one wants to be told the way you're set up can't really work with me, and the way I'm set up won't work with you too well, because I'm gonna continuously analyze and stuff, because I'm sure it's not just for her own benefit. She's analyzing and kind of dissecting because she actually cares for him and his well-being. She's been the only person in the show so far. Maybe Hannibal, but we don't know for what reasons. So, damn, sweet moments, sweet moments. I wish Will can have this, but I hope... Oh, am I kidding? Look at me wanting to wish for a fairy tale ending in this show. It's like, bruh, I'm watching a show where people have recipes for humans and make freaking angels out of flap of skin. Ain't no freaking happy ending, man.
Good night, Will.
Poor Will, man. God damn. And I don't know if that would dive him deeper into the despair, or that little piece of love will carry him over.
Virginia. I thought it was French. The Virginia wine revolution is upon us.
You really have to ask?
No, just changing the subject. They're going to find you.
Let them.
You want to get caught?
I want them to try.
Oh?
We'll send men to investigate, and I'll kill them. Then I'll find Franklin and kill him.
Jesus.
Of course you will. I'm lean. Lean animals yield the toughest cut.
Wow.
Out of town, to a lonely road, to a bus yard.
Wow.
It concerns me because you won't be drawing attention just to yourself.
Is something gonna happen right now?
Who can understand me? Who thinks like I do and can see the world and the people in it?
Exactly how you feel. But I don't want to be your friend.
Rejection.
I didn't poison you, Tobias, so I wouldn't do that to the food.
Jesus.
Expecting someone?
Franklin?
No.
Don't tell me it's Franklin, yo. Guys, when I tell you the tension I'm feeling right now, and there's something I want to mention, right? The way, okay, the last couple of episodes, Hannibal has always been like on top of the food chain, right? It's like psychologically, like mentally, like strength-wise, intelligence, he's always been on top every single scene. But the last two episodes have shown three different people that I feel has shaken that a little bit. Number one is his therapist, because his psychiatrist, therapist? I don't know which one to use. Let me know. But his therapist revealing to us last episode that she knows that he's wearing this human suit and everything. It's like, that's the first time we've seen someone like match him, like intelligence wise, and was able to see through everything, right? She's the first one. The second is Franklin. I know you guys might not be expecting that, but the way Franklin makes Hannibal get out of his comfort zone, or just makes Hannibal, like, you can see the disgust. Like, you can tell probably Hannibal don't like feeling those feelings. Like, he probably has pride in how calm and collected he always is. And then there is obviously Tobias that just told him, I followed you through this long, like, dirt road and see all the things that you did. And it's like Hannibal, you could tell that pissed him off a little bit, because like for the first time someone have seen him become sloppy, you know what I mean? Or he wasn't being as careful as he thought he was. So it's like this last 2 episodes we've seen multiple people like kind of shake Hannibal's position in that hierarchy a little bit, for lack of a better term. And I'm liking this. I'm liking this a lot. God damn. See why I told y'all I was like excited that we still have more episodes, so much more episodes of this show, because with every single episode that goes by, I'm like, feed me more, please. This man said I was going to kill you. Look at me getting defensive of Hannibal. I'm like, you know who you're talking to? You're talking to Hannibal Lecter. Interesting. I think they invited Franklin to kill him. Unfortunately, my namesake is about to kick the bucket, or kick the pot, or the fridge, however you want to put it. I would have loved to see that, though. Shit. Terrifying, both of them.
Didn't finish his dinner.
An urgent call of some sort. Had to leave suddenly.
Wow.
She said she wouldn't be good for me, and I wouldn't be good.
I don't disagree. She would feel an obligation to her field of study to observe you. There's no one to tell me about it.
Oh, I wanted to kiss her since I met her. She's very kissable.
Which suggests you were kissing her for a reason, in addition to wanting to.
She looked at me. Maybe her face changed. I don't know. She knew.
You weren't okay.
There was no animal in the chimney. It was only in my head. I feel unstable.
That's why you kissed her. A clutch for balance. You said yourself, what you do is not good for you.
Fortunately, I am good for it.
I hesitate telling you this as it borders on a violation of doctor-patient confidentiality.
Oh?
A patient told me today he suspects a friend of his may be involved with the murder at the symphony.
What did he say about his friend?
He owns a music store in Baltimore, specializing in string instruments.
What? Didn't he say he was gonna, the police are gonna come find him, he's gonna kill them? So what, you want them to ice Will, or do you want Will to kill again? What are you
For
on?
the first time in a long while, I see a possibility of friendship.
Oh?
So then, being his friend, I'm curious about him. And that got me curious about friendship. We see the world in different ways, yet he can assume my point of view.
By profiling the criminally insane.
As good a demonstration as any. I find it reassuring.
It's nice when someone sees us, Hannibal.
You've helped me to better understand what I want in a friendship, and what I don't.
Okay.
It's natural to want to see if someone is clever enough to climb over them.
Interesting.
What can I help you with?
Oh boy.
Baltimore is a small town, and the cultural arts community is an even smaller one. You can't just open somebody up and draw a bow across their innards and expect
This guy.
more authentic.
A richer, darker sound.
Something wrong?
He's hearing things again.
Excuse me a minute.
Jesus Christ, Will. He had a weapon right there. Oh, brother.
Sorry about that.
Yep, the cops are dead, huh?
Officers?
Will, pull your gun out, man. Yes. Cock that shit, boy. Is this what Hannibal wants? Does Hannibal want him to take take out Tobias. It's almost like he was anticipating this. Tobias, I mean. Careful, Will. He's probably already gone. My goodness. He does it in his basement. It's kind of like Clarice in the dark. I have a feeling this is going to be the last straw for Will. Wow.
Yes, I am.
You were a referral.
I'm also part of the problem.
Plane is going down. Let it have a controlled descent.
Franklin.
You've done a horrible thing.
I'm speechless, yo.
I know that you wish to God that you didn't.
He doesn't.
Only thing you can change is your future, right?
Does Franklin has some kind of, I don't want to say kink because that's not the right term. Does he have some kind of fetish is not the right word too. Does he have some kind of yearning to be a psychologist or like a psycho profiler or something? Because the way he's stepping into this role is like, dog, you're in the lion's den, bruh. Between two of them, Jesus Christ.
No, you're probably scared.
You have no...
I was looking forward to that.
I saved you the trouble.
Oh? Is it go time? Wow. This is happening? Interesting. Yo. Wow. Seeing Hannibal this vulnerable is crazy. What? What? Hey man, hold on. This again, these last couple of episodes, we've been seeing people take Hannibal out of his comfort zone of like that physical, mental, psychological like superiority that the show has curated him as, you know, and now we're seeing another killer, intelligent, strong, just as malicious. Interesting. This, ooh. He's whooping that ass too. Dog. That throat is gone. Was that a knock at the door? Oh, he's using the dare. Lord. He's already cooking up the crime scene. I wonder how he's gonna paint the picture.
Killed 2 Baltimore police officers. Nearly killed an FBI special agent.
He knows that.
His first stop is here, at your office.
He came to kill my patient.
Franklin.
Is that who Budge was serenading?
I don't know.
Huh.
Broke Franklin's neck, and then he attacked me.
You killed him.
Could Franklin have...
Jesus.
Poor choice in friends.
This doesn't feel simple to me.
Will gotta know something is up. Will has to know.
Dragged you into my world.
I got here on my own.
It's the other way around, baby.
Even if it was only for a few days.
Patients will sit where Franklin died. Will you ever feel comfortable returning to psychiatric work?
This is psychiatric work.
True.
No one else can take on that responsibility. Not even you. But I don't take responsibility for his death.
Did she kill him? Or the patient? Did he say no should you? What the?
No should you?
Dog. I did not know what this episode had in store. So, Tobias told Hannibal that yes, I want them to come after me. I will kill them and move ahead. So why did Hannibal ask Will to go get Tobias? Because I'm sure he doesn't just want Will to die. Because for obvious reasons, he likes Will and Will is part of his plans or his friendship or all that good stuff. So now I'm left asking, did he ask Will to go hoping Will kills Tobias? Just to drag Will deeper into... Again, Will started seeing Hobbs this episode again. Is it just to dive Will deeper into like what Will has been going through? Like the conversation they had episodes ago about killing the man or killing the culprits, and that meaning that he understands like their brain and their vision. Could that be it? Because in this episode too, Will almost talked like Tobias in the autopsy room when he was like, you know, the whole thing about I cut you open so that I could hear you properly or something like that, and how he said it almost how Tobias would have said it. This episode was loaded. Everything with Alana, the kiss they shared, and how like Lecter told him that was probably just him grasping for some stability, because that's probably something he would never have done if he was in his like right senses. It's almost like it was his body reflex. I mean, he did make the decision to kiss her, but just stay with me. It's almost like it's his body reflex telling him, hey man, you're about to explode. Better touch grass or kiss this woman you find so attractive and beautiful to just, you know, keep you from... God. And I love how much we saw with him and his therapist in this episode. Their whole conversations about friendship and accountability, responsibility for being attacked. And in the ending, this man, he plays the role so well. Like him talking about me sitting on my chair, therapizing people that were where Franklin died. I'm like, boy, you snapped his neck. So it's one of those things where I'm like, is he just playing the path, playing the victims like so well? Or is that just part of his whole human suit to his therapist? And I wonder if she sees through all that. I mean, she mentioned earlier that she did in a previous episode. Dog, their confrontation between Tobias and Hannibal, all three, at the store, at the dinner, and the brutal fight scene. I did not expect to see that at all. Like Mads, Hannibal has just been curated to us as this like god of a man, darn near superhuman. So seeing him get like his ass handed to him was so surprising. It was so incredible. That fight scene went on for like 3 minutes. And Franklin, the moment Franklin started talking, I'm like, one of them is gonna shut him up immediately. And yes, I think Franklin has this like lack of a better term, just fetishization of like being a friend and a comforter. And going about it the wrong way, because like everything he was saying to Tobias did not even match what Tobias was feeling. Tobias wanted to kill those people. He knows this is not a mistake. This is his lifestyle. That's why he's attracted to Hannibal, wanting Hannibal to be a friend. So this weird French triangle that they got going on here is just... Dog, I need to watch this episode again. Yeah, Franklin wanted to be such a friend, such a comforter. It's like, dog, you're more worried about others than yourself. It's kind of like what Hannibal told him, like, you're more worried about your therapist than your actual therapy. He's like, you have made a mistake, but come to me, like, I'll help. Boy, not the right people, man. Not the right people to be. And again, what Hannibal said in the beginning, I think you are attracted to psychopaths. You're not one per se, but you're attracted to psychopaths. And I know this is an extreme, but like, I said it during episode 1. I am not one of those people that they love watching like, what do they call it? Like crime, true crime podcast or true crime shows that are so like freaking grinding their teeth in amazement at how these people's brains work. I'm like, obviously there's a very extreme version of it. Like, I shouldn't say this is a very extreme. Every freaking popular serial killer or horrible human that have ever existed and been caught, don't they get like fan mail? In the Jeffrey Dahmer, like all of them, don't they get fan mail? Like people loving them, like tripping over them while they're in prison, sending them love letters, this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? Oof, I can't wait to hear all your comments in this episode. Please just make it spoiler free. I know it's redundant for me to keep saying that every episode, but people can't help it sometimes, man. Thank you all for watching. Please let me hear your thoughts about this in the comments. God damn, I need to do a rewatch. Take care, y'all.